What's up, guys? This is Heis. We're back at Railroads Online with my buddy Khan. Today, we bought some new train cars. We're going to have 2 different trains operating on the railroad, see if we can't make a little money, and start progressing towards bigger and better things on the CRAP. Let's get into it. We got 2 trains here today. I'm excited.
We bought some cars. These cars are actually labeled with the, Central, Rio, and Pacific, and the car numbering schemes, which Heis was explaining the numbering schemes before, why they're all called 200 something, and then a number like 201, 202, etc.
Yeah, the first couple numbers are just like the class designation, and then the last numbers are sequential. So you'd start with the 200, then you go to the 201, 202, 203, whatever. They're the 200 series of cars, and that way you know if you have a 200, it's a stake flat.
Yeah, and then for us, since we don't really know what to call these numbers, we're just numbering them based on the order they appear in the buy menu. So this is car 1, car 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc.
Exactly.
So that's how we're going for it. Anyway, we're going to run some trains today. We need to make more money. I guess I should join your company.
I suppose so.
I'm the boss.
Yeah, you're the guy with all the money. I'm still not employed by you, so I'll just wait a bit.
It's fine. We'll pay you a wage
train?
at some
We're both each gonna run each train once, the log train and the beams back to the freight depot. Do you have any preference on which one you want to run first?
I don't.
Okay, well, take your pick, sir.
Well, I'm in the Montezuma already, so.
All right, well, that's okay. Fine.
I'm highballing. I'm highballing through the yard. I'll see you at the sawmill maybe.
Okay, well,
perhaps.
Yeah. I don't know what direction the sawmill. I guess you have to go first anyway, because you got to go straight through, and I gotta stop at the sawmill. I don't know what direction the switches are all set at the sawmill,
We're
so
gonna have to see.
You might want to check out.
Yeah, but before I just run through with reckless abandon and just end up somewhere. Yeah.
Dude, I love this. Look at this. I'm gonna like pull onto a line right behind you.
This is not safe railroading practice, but it's fine. It's a video game.
What do you mean? What are you talking about? As long as you've cleared the switch, right? It's
fine. It's totally fine. There's definitely never been timetable rules about making at least 10 minutes between trains and stuff. No, definitely not.
I'm like 10 minutes-ish.
10 minutes-ish if you like slow down the footage by, I don't know, 1,000,000%.
A lot, yeah. Dude, I could probably like jump off my train and get onto the back of yours.
So the funny thing from my POV right now is that you're far enough back that you've de-rendered, and so you're just like T-posed floating above the track, like 2 car lengths behind me. There's just John Railroadson just floating through the air.
Yeah, I guess it's true because the client doesn't. Yo, what? Why are there a bunch of green trees here? What the heck?
There's a mix of green and gold ones. It's very autumn feeling still.
But there's like one big patch. Sorry, I got distracted. Like I saw a squirrel on the side of the,
You briefly loaded in. If I turn around and look at you, Betsy briefly loads in, but then it de-renders, and then there's just floating John Railroadson again, all over again.
Well, this is part of what happens when you run multiple trains.
Right. It is the fun. You can't see the other trains, so that it's extra spicy danger. Like just classic good stuff. So I bet
at some point in time we're gonna have to actually set up some watering towers.
Eventually, Eventually we will use water. Yeah.
And fire depots and stuff, because I really like Betsy for some reason still has a lot of water.
Yeah, the water usage is really, really minimal on these, which is completely antithetical to how they really work. They use a ton of water in real life. Like, even at the Railroad Museum, where we don't have that far to run, we have to get water at least once every day in the tender.
Do you guys have a water tower there? Or
we
do.
Do.
You just actually,
we have a water tower. It holds 10,000 or... I think it's a 12,000 gallon tank historically that they've remodeled it after, but it only holds 10,000 because it's got like a plastic liner on the inside for longevity purposes.
Right.
Okay, it looks like I'm lined through the runaround track, so you'll just have to line the one switch to go into the sawmill loading, so it shouldn't be too bad. But yeah, we've got our water tower, and it fills with a well, and yeah, we use it every day we run steam. Just about, we have to use it. So.
Well, I could go this way, or I could go this way. I'll go this way.
You've got options, man.
Dude, there's so many options here. It's great.
So it's kind of good, you're probably going to do a load at least of beams by the time that I get back. But that's good because the pond's almost full, and it would be a waste to just dump more in because it can only hold 100. And I think they just disappear if you try to put more in. I think you still get paid, but it doesn't go above 100. So you're going to get the beams going, and then it'll start consuming the logs, so then I'll replenish it by the time that I get loaded up and down there, because you're only getting 3 clicks per car, 8 cars, and I have 6 clicks per car and 8 cars, so I'm going to have twice the loading time as you.
True, that's true. One thing I would never dare doing... Oh, I didn't... Oh my goodness, I screwed up. I screwed up so hard.
What'd you
I mean,
do?
I didn't really. In the last episode, I have 3 switches that I use to line up the straight for where the loading is for the beams, like where I am.
Oh, did you not throw them back?
No, I left them as 3 switches. I didn't.
Oh, you didn't clean them up in the normal track.
Matter. Like I'm fine. I would have, like, I didn't derail or anything.
I was just imagining Betsy having clipped into a platform as she ran through a diverging leg of a switch.
No, that would have sucked. No, I forgot to delete them and replace them with a straight piece of track.
Easy fix.
Silly.
Easy fix.
Yeah, easy. Yeah, that would suck to have switches there, because if you forget to throw them, then all of a sudden you're off on the loading platform.
I have become one with the platform.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's no good.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is this not how you load a train? My bad. Like, just...
You shove its face into the object, and then it becomes loaded.
Load the train. Instructions unclear. Train is on the platform. Like,
the train has been loaded, yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, for water towers and stuff, for fuel, I feel like we're going to need a wood fuel depot at the main depot, obviously.
Yeah,
water towers
for sure. Servicing facility, yeah.
Right, but we're also going to need one at the logging camp.
Yeah, it's usually a pretty solid idea.
Because eventually we're going to have a train that does nothing but live at the logging camp and brings logs back down to the lumber mill as needed, you know?
Yeah, start of the chain.
We'll need a setup there. And then other than that, I mean, I guess we might need some out at the iron mines and stuff, maybe the smelter once we get to that point. But definitely the logging camp and the freight depot will need some wood setups. All right, I'm loading beams now. Perfect.
Well, I just got to the logging camp, but I'm going to run through and run around first. So I'm going to run through the reverse loop, and then I'll load on the way out. I'm willing to bet you'll be pretty close to loaded by the time I start loading.
Dude, I love that loop at the logging camp.
It is so pretty.
Like, it's so nice to be able to just drive out and then load on your way out and then just leave down the hill with like barely any tractive effort. You don't need a lot of pull to get going. You just kind of like start coasting down the hill, you know?
Super easy operationally, and it's so pretty. It's just wandering through the trees nice and close to the right-of-way. I mean, it's literally like a little canyon of leaves and everything. It's really pretty.
And it is just producing beams like crazy.
Yeah, it should make 2 beams instead of trying to make any lumber because we're full.
Right. And we've got, I'm trying to check the logging. Oh my god, and we've got 87 out of 100 on the... Bro, I don't think I'm going to pull enough beams to, like, give you space. You might have to just take those logs to the freight depot, honestly, and just make money.
Well, we'll see how, get the pond filled back up at least, and then maybe we'll have to make a manifest train and put them together and take everything to the freight depot, maybe.
We could actually check, I guess, test your theory of whether or not putting something in the pond,
see what it does.
Full, gives money. Wouldn't be the worst thing to waste a cart of logs if it doesn't work. Yeah,
at the end of the day, it's like it's logs. They're whatever, $10 a piece. So if you do lose one, it's not the end of the world.
All right, this train's getting a bit heavy for Betsy.
Poor little Betsy.
Yeah, only 4 cars are loaded.
Yeah, we need something with real air brakes because Montezuma, I mean, she gets shoved around by everything too, you know?
Yeah, I'm not going to stop. There's not going to be any stopping involved in this. In this drive, I can already tell. Like, I'm crawling forward just to move from, cart to cart, and there's no way stopping is going to happen in any sort of
way, shape, or form.
Yeah. If I had a hill, like, we'd just be sliding. There'd be... Luckily, I think it's pretty much flat from the sawmill back to the freight depot, so I think I'll be okay.
You should be fine. I mean, there's a couple little downgrades, but it's not that bad.
1 million pounds.
It's not that bad. There's a couple little downgrade pieces, but you should be able to hold them back.
I always find that amazing with trains, too, is it's like, even like Betsy can pull like what 600,000 pounds or something on flat ground, but then as soon as you put like a 0.5% grade, it's like down to 60, and
yeah, and then all of a sudden nothing. Yeah, it turns out
and then nothing.
We're reliant on that big normal force to make the friction happen, right? Because your frictional coefficient of steel wheel on steel rail is so low, and that's what makes it so efficient. But even when your locomotive's doing that too, right? You can only get so much. So, yeah, definitely gets interesting. But as soon as, a couple percent, like there's a reason that most main lines in the United States do less than 2%, So.
Trains use steel rails and steel wheels. But I feel like they do that more for the durability's sake than for efficiency's sake, right? Like,
well, it's a little bit of both, because the friction is low, right? So that also helps with everything trailing behind you. But certainly it is also for the weight and the ability to carry that extra weight. It's not just one or the other; it's both of those pieces.
Yeah, like if you did rubber on trains, you would need so many wheels just to support the weight of a car,
and then they'd wear out so fast. Yeah,
like how fast do they wear out, right? Like you'd just be.
Yeah. Well, there is actually, interestingly enough, somewhat of a science behind the wheels and then the right hardness for the application, where the wheels on the train cars are actually different compounds than the wheels on the tires of the locomotive. Well, and yes, I said tires. Steam locomotives have tires. They're steel tires, but they are tires nonetheless. They're actually separate from the wheel, and they get sweat on there with a gas flamethrower, basically. That's a big ring of fire that heats up the tire. They beat the tire onto the wheel center with a couple big sledges, and then that's how you put new tires on. But they're a specific compound based on the weight of the locomotive, so that the locomotive has the right hardness of tire to have the right adhesion for how much power it can put down for its weight.
Okay, but I guess so. Like at a very like low level, you'd actually like the steel would flex in the tire, or is it way too hard for that?
Everything flexes a little bit, right? We always have that little bit of deformation.
At a visible, like it would be less than a millimeter of flex.
Or it's just absolutely nothing. You wouldn't see it.
Yeah, okay.
But you do get that little bit of flexing going on. And actually, one of the most interesting and most common failures of wheels these days on locomotives is called shelling, where parts of the tread surface get ripped out. And what's actually happening is a slip dislocation of the crystalline grain structure of the steel. So when you're talking about how steel is actually made, it's like little groups of cubes, basically, of the little atoms. And occasionally, the bonds can break and get moved.
Isn't it base-centered cubic for steel, or is it base-centered cubic? One's like a 624 or whatever, and one's like, I remember all this.
It's been a minute since I took material science.
Because it's a hexagon, guys, okay? It's a hexagon with a triangle in it. Let's calm down.
Right. No, so it's I'm pretty sure it's just the normal cube structure where you've got, the points of the cube, the vertices of the cube as where your little atoms are in your steel structure, with all the extra fun little things that get mixed in alongside. But the wheels will actually try so hard to apply the grip to the rail that it'll cause slip dislocation, where the bonds break and it moves the bond over one until it peels bits of wheel out. And like there's been years and years and years of studies to try and figure out the exact right material to limit this sort of thing. And that's actually kind of why modern locomotives have been determined like 44-ish 100 horsepower with 6 traction motors, 6 wheel sets is like the ideal thing. They tried more horsepower than that. They tried 6,000 and it didn't work. It just killed the wheels. Like the 4,400 6 wheel sets is like the ideal amount to actually make sure that you're able to put the power down.
That's so interesting when you think about, it makes sense. It's the same with your car. If you have a car with too much power, it'll burn the tire rather than actually deliver traction. But like, it's just fascinating when you scale it all up to the size of a train, because then, you end up with all the ridiculous materials. Right.
It's really easy to think that it's like, oh, it's a train and it's steel and it's hardcore because it's steel, but the amount of little nuanced science that goes into it, where it's this precise steel for a locomotive, or even this precise steel for a steam engine, this one versus this one, compared to the wheel set itself behind, totally different.
Oh yeah, and then if you get into like planes, it just gets even worse.
Yeah, we grew these turbofan blades out of singular crystalline grain structure such that
And
they
then
could
we
not have
spin
these
them at like
dislocations.
20,000 RPM, and they stretch, and they like superheat and stretch, and yeah, I remember that. It's ridiculous.
Dude, yeah, playing the tech that goes into some of that stuff, like anything, jet engines, that's some serious insanity. Like, they teach you some of that stuff in school, and then you're like, wait, no, they can actually manufacture that? They can make that?
A turbofan prop, and it's got like air holes in it because they blow super cooled air through the prop to, like, you know, cool them down so they don't explode. And it's like, I have no idea how you manufacture that stuff. It's like you said, from a single grain structure, so it's strong as heck, and like, yeah, no, it's
There's
ridiculous.
no chance for any dislocation because it's all aligned to the grid. It's perfect material, quote unquote, you know?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I have
on my
no
way
idea
back to
how.
Crate People, by the way, with beams already.
Are you really?
Yeah.
I'm almost loaded.
I'm only going 50% reg, but this is flat ground, so Betsy's doing all right.
There you go. Yeah, I'm loading the last 2 cars right now. So, turns out, even while loading on the cranes, it takes a little bit of nerding out about material science to pass the time.
Yeah, I feel like you're gonna have to. I hated material science in school, by the way. I mean, it was cool. Like, you know, you get to smash a watermelon and like freeze it in liquid nitrogen. And I put my hand in liquid nitrogen once, and everyone's gonna say it's fake. No, you didn't. Yes, I did, and I'll tell you how you could do it. The prof actually asked. He's like, "Does anybody want to put their hand in liquid nitrogen?" And everyone was kind of like, you know,
no,
a bunch of wimps. And I was like, "Yeah, I'll do it, sure." And basically, if you put your hand in for like less than a second, like it's a fraction of a second, like you just dip it and pull it out, the heat from your hand releases air bubbles. So the nitrogen right close to your hand, the liquid, instantly vaporizes and becomes gas from the heat off your hand. And as long as you're fast enough so that the surface of your skin doesn't cool down enough, then the temperature difference like creates an air pocket of nitrogen around your hand.
Interesting.
So you dip your hand in the liquid and you pull it out. Don't try this at home, kids. I swear to God, do not put your hand in liquid nitrogen. But you do it, if you do it quick enough, it's a very weird feeling. It almost feels like your hand gets wet, but then you pull it out, it's completely dry because it's nitrogen gas, right? That's all.
That's
just instantly
crazy.
vaporized.
I never got to see that experiment when I was in school. We didn't do that one.
Yeah, it was, I don't know how my prof ever got away with doing that, but we were like freezing materials. So we took like steel and we put steel in an oven, and then we would smash it with a giant pendulum and see what happened, right? How much force it took to break. Then we put steel in like liquid nitrogen at negative 196 Celsius, and again, smash it with a giant hammer and see what would happen, like how much force. And then steel at room temperature, and, you know, also, and you're basically just plotting materials on a temperature curve, right?
Right.
Then he has this jar of liquid nitrogen, and, you know, put your hand in liquid nitrogen. It's, I don't know. At the time, it seemed like a cool idea.
Right. This sounds fun. It could potentially maim me. It's
Probably
fine.
shouldn't have done it, but, you know, I'm here, and my hands are fine, I think, so.
Oh, there you go. I think
The cool thing to do, if you pour liquid nitrogen on the floor, because it's so dense, it just rolls across the floor as like a cloud. And
Weird.
picks up all the dirt with it, but then it moves everything to like the outside edge of the room. It's really quite neat.
that is neat.
Anyway, liquid nitrogen, fun
I
stuff.
think my favorite thing for material science that I feel so spoiled with in my career was that I was volunteering for the Railroad Museum when I was going through college, and I ended up getting like an internship basically at the museum. And so I was taking a material science class, and they were talking about like annealing copper and what annealing copper does, making it softer and better at like, being a gasket and stuff. And learning that 1 week in class, and then the next week we're sealing up the steam dome of one of the steam engines, and it's got a copper gasket. And, you know, okay, well, we got to heat it with the torch till it gets rainbow colored, and then, you know, that will anneal the copper, and it'll make sure that it seals better. And then you zip it down, you know, with big, huge wrenches and a million bolts on the studs in the dome, clamp the gasket down, didn't leak on the first try, and it's like, okay, school said it one way, but seeing it in person, that's like one of the best things out there. So if you're interested in like material science or engineering or that sort of thing, get involved in some of these places where you can really get hands-on and learn how to do that stuff. Whatever it is you're interested in, not just trains, automotive, whatever you want to do, you will learn so much more by getting to do it and see it with your own eyes than you ever can just in the book or hearing it from a professor. That stuff's really, really valuable.
I agree, 100%.
Okay, I'm coming into the sawmill now here.
How are you slowing down, Betsy? How is this possible?
Oh, I am not lined, though. Can I get ahead of it?
All right, I just pulled this whole thing of beans.
Sorry. You're going to have to watch my POV to watch that close switch action. That was pretty hot, not going to lie.
All right, I'm coming back. I'll be at the sawmill probably before you. Check the loading thing. I gave you a bunch of money. Lots of different thoughts coming down the telegram right now. Beep 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 beep.
Yeah, I've got $726. So
we should learn Morse code and exclusively communicate in Morse code when we're
just
not
by
directly
beeps.
next to
Beep
each other.
beep 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 beep
Yeah.
beep beep. That'd be very
You're
good.
try to edit it afterwards. You're like, oh no, wait, I missed that conversation. Hold back.
Hang on, what did he say?
Yeah.
He said beep boop. Okay, so I've unloaded 3 cars of logs, and that put us at 98 out of 100. So I guess I'm gonna see, what happens when I put the 4th car in. So I'm gonna pull ahead a little bit, and then I guess I'll have to determine whether or not I have to go to the freight depot.
As long as you get the money from it, who cares, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's wasted logs, man. But that's okay.
Well, there's unlimited logs, though.
That is true. It's just time. All right, so
time,
I have $906 before I unload, and I'm unloading, and it only unloaded. It unloaded 3, but it only paid me for 2, and now it's at 100 out of 100, and there's still 3 on this car, so it won't even let you unload when you get 100.
Well, that's
okay.
Interesting. That's kind of cool.
That is a neat mechanic.
But it also means you can't make money off.
Yep. That means I got to go to the freight depot, so I guess I'm going to pull ahead.
Let me come back and load up again, and then,
yeah.
Wait, so how many cars did you manage to unload? But no, you'll be able to unload as I load up more.
Oh, I could do that. Yeah, I could just park.
Let's do a train swap. I'll unload yours. You can start loading this one once I get back there.
Okay. Train swap. I like it.
And then I'll go back to the logging camp and load up the rest of the logs so we can just sell it all to the freight depot in one giant final push.
I think that's the nice move. I think the bummer with doing the beams this way is that you're using less commodities, so you're cycling the pond less if we want the shorter trip. But I mean, it's the more profit dense setup, right? So it makes more sense.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. Might as well have both trains back at the thing anyway. I mean, what's the next thing we need to buy realistically, other than engines, because engines are always great. The next thing we need to buy is hopper cars, right?
Yeah. Hoppers or cordwood cars. I don't know if it makes a difference, but yeah, we'll need both.
Well, hopper cars, because then we can deliver planks and beams to the iron mine. Well, we have to hook up to the iron mine first.
Yeah, so if we hook up to the smelter first, we could run cordwood to the smelter. But
Which needs cordwood cars.
And we need cordwood cars for that. But at the same time, we could also run to the iron mine first and then move the commodities from the sawmill there. So it's kind of either or, they both work.
Sounds like a decision for the comments to make.
Yeah. What do you want to see us buy next, folks? Let us know.
Do we go to the iron mine first or do we go to the smelter first? That's really where it's at.
Yeah, I guess that's the interesting challenge. The smelter is theoretically the easier run to lay, and then the iron ore mine, I mean, there's many ways to get there, and I've done many stupid ways to get there, so it'd be interesting to see what we decide to do.
Yeah, I don't know, but I feel like I want to do like nice, I want to do something a little different. I'm thinking we do a run up the Iron Valley way low, and then do a bunch of those like arcing big bridges,
Oh, that'd be fun. If you go like down the floor from the smelter all the way, and then that would be so. And then we've just got like a giant helix of bridges in the bowl at the bottom.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
oh man, that would be lit. That would be super cool. Yeah, let's do that. Hey, look, it's
Con. I don't know how it all work, but what's up? I think I'm on the right line.
You are. I checked your switches, and I'm out of the foul here, so you should be able to. Oh, I can just do this. Ah! There we go.
All yours.
And now I'm the Betsy.
Dude, I love this layout. It's so, like, flowy. Everything just flows.
It works really well.
You have clearance back there? You do.
I do, yeah. I made sure I was out of the foul. It's a big no-no leaving your train where some other train can come hit it.
These can unload? These ones up front actually unload the log?
Yeah, they unloaded the 3, and then they stopped. So it unloaded 2, then it unloaded the 3rd one, and it didn't pay me for the 3rd one, so I guess that was the test. Like, oh, okay. And that was that.
Yeah, we need to, once we get more track laid, dude, we just need to invite a bunch of people and just have a really busy day.
Yeah, get some trains
Everyone
moving.
can join one company, and we can just like we need to have the cars, we need to have the engines, we need to have locos for people to use and cars
Yep.
and all that.
Got to get
But
to
then we
everything
can just
going.
have a day where we just make like 10 grand in a few like an hour just from
That would be
people.
fun. See how much money we could make, how quickly with
Yeah, and like
full
like
server.
in 30 minutes, how many like organize all the trains, make sure everyone knows where they're going, what their destinations are, and yeah, that would be cool.
That would be the way to do it.
What? So both mines, the coal mine and the iron mine, they're both planks and beams, right? That's it.
The coal mine needs rails.
Oh, it needs
Rails and lumber or rails and beams. I can't remember. It's been so long.
And it comes from the smelter, right? The rails. So it's
Yeah. So the coal mine's after the smelter for sure.
right. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna have to. But neither of them need cordwood.
Yeah, just the smelter needs the cordwood.
Yeah, I want to do a run to the iron mine. Like I've done the mountain pass, the edge of the mountain pass run. You know, the intended dev route, whatever. It looks cool. It was a cool route. It's a nice route.
I like the valley idea. That's
Yeah,
fun.
but I really want to do something up the valley and then climb our way up to the iron mine at the very end, because that would just be. I feel like we could do some really cool stuff with that.
Yeah, and it would give us some fun operational setup too, because you could have a fast engine for the floor of the canyon, right? When you're really running, and then you get
like a
Heisler or Shea or something, and then do helper operations and have multiple engines and watch the many engines slog it up. There's some great pictures from the early days on the DNRG where they're like slogging up the hill with like 3 cars and there's 5 locomotives on the front, and it's like, really? That's how gutless those locomotives were? You needed 5 for 3 cars? So yeah, it would really capture that early narrow gauge spirit of trying to do it the wrong way.
Yeah, just have a Heisler that just parks in an engine shed at the bottom, and you hook it up to the front of the train, drag the whole train up with it, and then just unhook it and go back down.
And that's the helper station. That's the way to do it.
I'm just picturing that big steel helix bridge, and
just wrapping. Yeah, that'd be fun.
yeah, I mean, obviously, we'll see how it ends up, but I feel like that would be a cool route to set up.
For sure. I'm excited.
And then the
to see what
smelter
comes out
route,
of
I
that.
definitely want to go down like the very edge of the mountain and not just in the middle like I used to. Like I definitely want to go down the edge,
Yeah.
hug that
pretty.
left side,
Yeah. It's definitely one that you can spiral down to. I've done it at a bunch of different grade percentages. It's a long run at 1%, but you can do it.
We could. I mean, if we did it at 1% and made it a really gradual turns, it could be a fast line.
It could be. Yeah. Which might
Once
be
we
good.
get-
Might be good early game, right? But once you get the bigger engines that are more powerful, you want to spend a little bit less time winding around
Well,
and
not
slog it out.
necessarily, because once the speed limits go away,
That's true.
the shallow grade might be good when you've got like all these big wide curves that we've got here and this bypass lane and stuff. These are all gonna be super nice for when we have no speed limits. Like, you imagine you're just sitting here unloading your logs and a cordwood train comes flying
Just
through
flying
at 30
through
miles
at
an
30
hour.
mile an hour. Yeah.
Yeah, we're all right, bud. Like, have a good one. There's your cordwood.
There it goes.
That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be pretty cool when they don't have speed limits anymore. So it's like that's gonna be.
That's gonna be the dream. Yeah, I've been waiting
Something-
for, because that's what brings the danger. Like the whole
Yeah.
the whole fun about early day railroading and everything was, yeah, they had speed limits that they came up with and whatever, but it was really up to the engineer. And there's plenty of great stories of engineers pushing to make time and wrecking the train or making it somehow in some ungodly fast time between locations, and that's what's really going to send this game to the next levels, when it's like, okay, well, we've built the railroad, it's pretty smooth, but just how fast can we push it? How far does the envelope get
I
pushed
still
before
think
we bin
this
it?
game would be cool if Industries had random contracts that popped up.
Yeah.
We want a special delivery of X within this time.
Yeah, do it
And-
fast, get paid extra.
Yeah, exactly. If you do it within a certain time window, you get paid extra, and you have to accept it, right? And blah, blah, blah. But you have to accept them at the freight depot or something. So there's there's that kind of forces you to be at one location. I mean, I guess you could already have the train potentially loaded, which would save you a ton of time. But you know, that would also give you an incentive to have loaded cars at every industry good to go.
Yeah, do some switching out, loading cars, and then
Run up,
do
you load
switching.
your cars, you know, get everything done. Are you full?
I'm full. I'm going.
Bro, we didn't even. There's 3 extra. All right, I'm gonna. I don't know what. Do you want to just park that train there, push back with me, load up these logs, and then we'll come back and meet up at the freight depot?
You won't want me to come load with you? Yeah, we could do that.
You can't. Well, just to keep up the riveting conversation.
Oh, naturally. Let me park Betsy. She's getting shoved around by these beams, man.
We're just gonna leave her on the line, you know. We'll just push back and everything will be wonderful.
All right, Betsy's parked. I'm gonna tend the fire real quick before I let her go.
That's probably a good point.
Just so that she's ready for when we come back. But yeah, definitely. Don't leave me, Con. Don't leave me.
Oh, we're crawling, dude. This thing is not picking up.
Just
speed
putting.
anytime.
It looks like it's completely unloaded on my end. Oh, now the logs are spawning in.
Yeah, no, there's 3 back cars. It just seemed kind of silly to leave the 3 back cars, only unload them, you know. Might as well just push back and
shove back, load it all, and have it ready to unload or take it to the freight depot or whatever suits our fancy.
Let's take it to the freight depot. Let's maximize the cash, you know.
Make that cash. I got $1,000, so we can buy some more cars already. So
that's good.
We'll have to see what people want to see. If they want to see cordwood, if they want to see iron ore, because cordwood cars are a lot cheaper, which is nice. And I think cordwood cars are nice because you get 8 commodities per car, so you get a little bit more density.
It's a lot of selling power.
Yeah, so cordwood's decent like revenue coming in, but so is you get 10 with a hopper and then iron ore, right? So like that's a good money too. But we have to connect 2 industries for that to work.
If it's a hopper, we have to deliver to the iron mine first.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a minute before we can use the hoppers, but we just got to see what we can connect to and what we can do.
Oh my god, dude, we are chugging.
Poor Montezuma being like, what is 3 cars on this 0.5% grade?
If we go up to the iron mine, we might need some. Well, no matter what, we kind of have to go to the smelter first if we're gonna do the valley for the iron mine.
That's true, the valley route.
Go down to the smelter, and that's your starting point, and then you got to stay like at that valley level, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, the Montezuma might struggle if we have a steep grade at the iron mine.
Definitely, yeah, definitely on the weaker side. We gotta get the Glenbrook going, or the 060, the class 48, sometime soon. Those would help us out significantly, I think.
How expensive is a class 48? Do you know?
It's $3,500.
Okay, so that's not actually that bad.
It's not, and that's straight stacked. It's only got 1 headlight. It's only got 1 paint scheme. So
but the only product we can deliver to the smelter is cordwood, really.
Yeah, for now, until we go get iron.
We'll go get iron. And then the iron mine, we can deliver planks and beams, so could do all that in one, which is nice.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, we could always honestly hook up the porter to the front of the Montezuma and
have the world's saddest doubleheader. Yep.
The world's saddest. It might be able to pull 8 cars up maybe a 2 or 3%.
We'll have to do the math. That depends on how many lumber cars are there, because the lumber cars are the heavy ones.
I think you need a ratio of like 1 to 2, right? So I think you need like we need 3 lumber cars and 6 beam cars, and that's unless they change. Oh no, they might have changed the product ratios.
So I remember they changed it because I remember people giving me relentless amounts of crap because I did it wrong. So we'll just have to see.
Seems like the sketchiest like reverse pushback, whatever. I don't know.
It's fine. Shove, yeah. I should be on the other end, technically. It's actually very illegal for you to just shove back with no one protecting the shove. You have to have someone riding the first car.
Back in the day, they didn't have like walkie-talkies or anything. How did you actually like communicate if you're at the very back of a long train? There's no way that the engineer would hear you.
You'd be given hand signals with your arms.
What about when we're around corners like this?
Then you don't see. That's the thing.
So you just go for it. You just go, screw it.
So, like, it would be, we're coming up to the logging camp, and we know that we're coming up to it. And I would have told you, previously with hand signals saying, like, okay, you're good to continue for 10 more cars. And so you know as the engineer, okay, I'm good for 10. If he doesn't give me another count by the time I get to 5, I have to stop. And so then I'd give you another count, okay, I could give you another 10. Okay, you're happy, you can go another 10, that's great. Or maybe, we get to close to 5 cars and I give you 6. Okay, well then, you're good for 3 more. And You know, that way you can always have line of sight and appropriate speed for how far you're going to be going when you're shoving like that.
I'm assuming there weren't very many long distance shoves.
No, you really tried not to do that. You'd try to have the engine on the right end. You know, sometimes that they did have to happen like that, and in some operational situations you had to do it, but you'd always have folks ready to protect and relay, and if that ever did come up. So,
and hear me out, a guy riding on a horse next to the train.
I mean, you could do that. Wouldn't be necessarily the best way to do it, but you could.
I'm still saying Railroads Online needs some PvP, okay? We need some PvP. We need people on horses try to rob your train commodities.
Royal Gorge DLC when...
Yeah, exactly.
There was actually a literal conflict between the Denver and Rio Grande and the Santa Fe back in the late 1800s, I think it was. They were trying to see who was going to get to build the railroad through the Royal Gorge, who was going to get the alignment, and they literally showed up with guns and started shooting at each other to try and like see who owned the railroad, and it went to the courts and everything, and it ultimately ended up with the DNRG getting to build it, and it became the now famous Tennessee Pass line, and the start of it is actually a tourist train. You can ride through the Royal Gorge. It's got a really crazy cantilevered bridge in it. The train runs on it, and part of it, because it's such a narrow canyon, it's really scenic. That still
America
exists.
solves a lot of problems with guns, I've noticed.
Well, you know,
they show up, they shoot first, then they're like, maybe we should talk about it.
Maybe we should talk about it. Well, you know, it's fine. It's America. Mm-hmm.
Let's not go to the courts first. Let's shoot each other first, then go to the courts.
1800s America was an interesting place.
A savage place, apparently.
The amount of hard liquor and the amount of guns that were present in the Wild West. There's a reason. There's a reason it was the Wild West. There's actually a story from my alma mater, the college I went to, the Colorado School of Mines, which was big into mining engineering when it started, and it later became for engineering in general. And there was some rivalry that they had with, I think, the university in Denver, and they did something like they stole something or defaced the big letter M that was on the hill, and so the School of Mines engineers showed up with dynamite and blew up the school. They literally blew up the office, like active domestic terrorism in the 1800s.
I had a story about the university I went to and its main rivalry, but it's not nearly as cool as blowing up.
No one blew up the rival school.
No one blew up. No, I'm in Canada, so we're much less exciting. We had the school I went to is in Ontario, but its main rivalry is the University of Toronto.
Okay.
'Cause I live near Toronto, and so I don't remember what it was. The University of Toronto stole something, whatever. It's it started somehow, right? And apparently, what happened is the next over the weekend. A bunch of the engineers from my school went to the University of Toronto, and they changed all the locks on all the doors.
Oh, wow.
All the buildings. So over the course of a weekend, they just went, used all their tools and whatever, and just changed all the locks. And everyone showed up on the Monday or whatever. And
nobody could get in.
Nobody could get in. And that was like the big prank. But this was again back in 1950 something.
That's more of a harmless prank than blowing up a school. So
Yeah, my story's not nearly as exciting though as dynamiting a freaking school.
Yeah, no one was hurt. At least it was one of those things that did it, and it was the offices or something in the evening. But yeah, it's there were headlines in the 1890s or something of yep, the miners blew it up. Okay, that's fine. Don't piss them off. Got it.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
It's a different
stuff
time.
People did back in the day.
I keep clicking on the crane faster, hoping that it'll work faster.
How's that working out for you?
It's wearing out my mouse for no reason.
Alrighty, let's get on out of here.
Get rolling here.
Brake off, reverser full, regulator full. Toot toot toot.
It's 2, not 3.
Okay, well, you know what? Oh, we never blow out this. I kind of wish they had I know the cylinder cocks you could open up, which is kind of cool, blow out the steam. I kind of wish they had maybe at some point they will train maintenance.
Right.
And
make it
if you don't do the proper purge cycles and stuff, then it wears down faster.
Yeah. Yeah, cylinder cocks are extremely important, and they're just a special effect right now. It'd be nice if they actually had their purpose, because yeah, over time, steam gets cold when it's not in the boiler. So if you're sitting with steam sitting around in the steam chest, it condenses, becomes water, and water is incompressible, and the steam engine tries to compress things, and that's a great way to blow heads off or break rings and stuff. So
we need some fuel, sir.
do we? Oh, okay. Well, excuse me.
Fireman.
As I climb between your legs, other John Railroadson.
Yeah, don't worry about it. This is just where I stand all the time.
This is just I'm 3-pointering wood between your legs.
That did not add to the fuel count, sir.
It did not? Oh.
No, you clearly missed that.
Oh, okay, it's fine. I'm just throwing wood around. Is the interactive widget? There it is.
Oh, there you go.
Yep, got it. Nailed it that time, boys.
Good, we got fuel.
This fire's very hot. It's burning my face. I'm gonna close the door.
Dude, it's like right on my ankles. Like I'm pretty sure.
It's just right there. It's fine.
We're just going for a nice cruise. We're not. We're on a 0.5% down. I don't want to, go too fast. Run out of.
Right. The funny thing, and hopefully someday this will be made accurate, but none of the DNRG's engines ever burned wood. The Montezuma's a coal burner. It burned coal from the very beginning, from 1871. So.
Well, you still needed wood to start. Right?
You needed wood to fire up, yeah.
Yeah, I feel
that's
like
any
the
coal
reason
burner,
that they I feel like the reason that you started with wood in this is because it's a little easier to give players the fuel source, like the sawmill,
rather than needing to go to the coal mine and everything.
The fuel depot station. But it would be cool if you could convert to coal. Like run them on coal, or buy engines and say like I want it to burn coal rather than wood. So like late game you buy coal engines, like coal variants.
I'd like to see that, and then of course see that the actual efficiencies and the improvements that gets you, because a wood burner, when you're actually firing a wood burner, you are throwing wood in constantly. Good luck. Like your job is grab 5 sticks of wood, throw the wood in, go get 5 more sticks, just continuously when you're running tonnage. Because, the wood, vaporizes in the firebox. It's burning so hot with the oxygen that's rushing through. Whereas coal, even when you're running tonnage, you can wait a minute or a minute and a half before you add a bunch more coal. But wood, it's like the constant battle. You're tossing it in there.
To be fair, we run on, 1 log an hour, really. It's
a little bit inaccurate in that way.
The fill on this line is interesting.
It is, it's a little bit of a fill.
I would have made it a lot shallower, but then I was like, you know what? A lot, have it go down to the ground and then have a steeper run up to the logging camp, but...
We have little itty-bitty baby engines to start with here, so...
Yeah. No, I don't mind this, though, to be honest.
It's not the worst looking big fill.
The first playthrough I did, I had, some super crazy low fill all the time, and, really tried to follow the contours of the maps and stuff, but...
It can be challenging to do that. Although that's certainly that would have been the cheapest thing for the railroad to really do. So,
yeah, less fill. But look at these curves, man. We got industrial railroad. It's so smooth now. We would have been able to afford fill. You know what I mean? If we're laying track like this, we can afford fill.
This is some high dollar track. This is not lowest bidder track for sure.
Yeah, look at these parallel lines.
You can tell how Heist did not lay this. All right. Well, I guess
railroad actually has a huge budget. That's the thing.
Right. I'll bid you adieu right here, and I'll hop on Betsy, and I'll meet you at the freight depot.
Yeah, I'm braking. I'm gonna brake hard.
Go for it.
I'm gonna try and. You should. I don't know if you can go first.
Oh, I don't think I can go first. I don't think you're stopping.
No, I'm not gonna be able to brake in time. So
yeah, those logs are showing you what's up. So I'm on Betsy now.
All right, perfect.
And I'm gonna see. I should probably open the reg now, just because how heavy these beams are.
Yeah, just don't hit that switch when my thing is still on it.
It's gonna be close. It's all right. These are heavier than heck.
All right, we're good. We're good. I think I passed it.
You're clear now, and I threw the switch over. That was interesting.
Yo, 10 minutes, bro. 10 minutes. You gotta give me 10 minutes.
It's kind of like 10 minutes.
What are you doing?
We got places to be. We got money to make, Con. Come on.
Yeah, dude.
Safety? What do you mean safety? These are pixels.
I don't think this bridge is rated for
two trains on it at once. Probably not. It's fine.
Your whistle sounds so much cooler than mine.
Yeah, the Montezuma's whistle's very high pitched for what it is.
It's like a National Geographic documentary. Look as the trains whistle to each other as a form of communication. The one train issues a warning call for other trains to stay out of its territory.
Come on. We need some chime whistles. Give me more chimes. Give me heist 6 chime or give me death.
Look, the Montezuma is spooked.
Spooked.
It tries to run off.
He's being stalked by the very small Betsy.
Yeah. Its vision is based on movement, though, so like, you know.
Well, Betsy doesn't have a headlight, so I don't know if Betsy can see anything. Betsy might be blind.
That's true. Yeah, just gotta wait till nighttime, and then I'll get away.
Right. We'll shoot with these oil headlights that the Montezuma would have. Good luck seeing anything, anyways. The oil headlights were so bad back in the day. They really did not show you anything that you needed to see. They were more for being seen than seeing things.
All right, we're going in the backwards way because this loop naturally just keeps flipping itself.
Yep. You're on my end, your engine is rendered, but your tender isn't. And then the load on the first car isn't rendered, so it's just making a real special thing. And I'm almost coupled into you.
How are you catching up? I don't understand.
I don't get it either. I've been on. Betsy's faster than the Zuma, maybe.
No.
I'm now shoving. I'm now shoving on you.
Yeah, I'm actually at full speed. Like there's nothing else I can do.
We've made a Betsy sandwich.
You have a better speed limit. That's interesting.
Apparently. It doesn't make any sense. Betsy's drivers are itty bitty.
Well, I'm sure, like, you know, obviously I'm not at the Montezuma's full speed in terms of speed limit, but...
It's fine. This is 10 minutes between trains, right?
Actually shoving. That's hilarious.
10 minutes between trains. We've just become one train. I'm a mid-train helper
one
now.
Train. Don't complain if you're one train.
Yeah, exactly. And it still warms my heart that I get to look back and see a train full of crap. Literally.
Oh yeah, you've got all the labeled cars.
Labeled cars. The crap 200 series. Yep. Ooh, that's got a double meaning, doesn't it? 10-200.
That's why we got to park these cars at the logging camp and have them as logging exclusive cars, so that no one notices that they're
not labeled.
Unlabeled.
Yeah.
Or we just got to get rich to the point where we can delete all these and then buy a bunch of crap 100 series.
Exactly. That's the move.
All right, I'm going to shut off the reg now and just kind of coast for a bit.
I shut off to give you a little space, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm going to slow down and then just kind of unload as it goes, you know.
Yeah, it's a good move.
Yeah, the new splines, man, you can make some really smooth curves, and that's why I feel like smooth curves and fill where it's appropriate. We got an expensive railroad going, you know? We're in the expensive 3-foot era.
Well, back in this day, like in the early days of the 3-foot gauge, I mean, the early DNRG stuff was really adornished and really pretty because they had a bunch of money. Because it was like gold rush time. Gold rush and silver was booming, and you know the railroads had a lot of money in that day, and they actually had like really nice equipment and took good care of it. It's only the memories of the narrow gauge that was still clinging on by some little thread in the 1950s and 1960s that we think of narrow gauge as the little podunk never had any money. That was certainly the case at the end of the days, but back in the early 1800s, mid 1800s, and late 1800s of this era, you know, that was they actually had a lot of money and they were really cool. I don't know how we like pretty much synced up our speed somehow. I'm barely catching up now.
I went down to 0.
Yeah, I'm just coasting with you, and it's just I'm in queue.
But I turned the reg back up to 5% because I feel like it would
kind of carry it through.
Yeah, this live unloading is very amazing.
It does help. I'm gonna give you a little dunk.
Oh, perfect.
Get you up a little more speed there.
Yeah, I'm a little slow. I kind of overdid it.
It's all right. We're still unloading on the fly, so we're being efficient.
I'm still only $200, but you must have a fair amount now, so that's good.
Yeah, let me see.
I'm just gonna actually.
I got almost 1,500. I got 1,496 right now, so.
That's good. We'll have some money for some stuff.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna actually turn the Zuma off, just no reg, and let you just push.
Okay. Yeah, that works. I just got Betsy's reg at like 25% and grabbed it.
Oh, I cranked it up to 100 now.
Ooh, we're going fast now, boys.
I think you'll get it.
I think it'll be fine. I think we will survive. All right, 2 more cars to go, and then we'll see how much money we've got and think about what we're going to do next time. All right, we're all unloaded. I have $2,072.
That's pretty good.
So a little over 2 Gs. So we can definitely get, we could get a fair amount of cordwood cars. We could get 2 hoppers. So we got options, but
we'd still have to deliver stuff to the iron mine first before.
Yeah.
So we could probably get 3 hoppers by the time we actually deliver all the stuff.
Yeah, so you guys got to let us know down in the comments below what you think we should do, whether we should go to the iron mine first or if we should go to the smelter first, run cordwood, or do we supply the iron mine first, and we'll kind of figure it out from there, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we got to lay track first no matter what, but
yep.
I agree.
Well, this is a good moneymaker, and it was a fun conversation, and always good to see a couple trains out on the railroad. Always makes me happy.
Yeah, dude, I'm so excited, like, with how smooth these splines are and stuff. I can't wait to have just, like, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 trains all running.
It's going to be cool, man. It's going to be so cool.
But yeah, let us know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, check out Heis's channel, and we'll see y'all next time.
Yep, bye!
Bye.